Devotees, please accept humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. One small request. Pankaj Prabhu, after Prasanti Mataji reads, you can take over Prabhuji. I'm also in another class for BY students. That's why the request. Yeah, Prasanti Mataji, when are you ready? Please start, Mataji.
No problem. Thank you so much, Pankaja. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 55, the history of Pradyumna from text 21 to 40. Text 21. Resorting to the black magic of the Daityas, taught to him by Maya Danava, Sambara suddenly appeared in the sky and released a downpour of weapons upon Krishna's son. Text 22. Harassed by this rain of weapons, Lord Rukminiya, the greatly powerful warrior, made use of the mystic science called Mahamaya, which was created from the mode of goodness and which could defeat all other mystic power. Text 23. The demon then unleashed hundreds of mystic weapons belonging to the Guhyakas, Gandharvas, Pisachas, Uragas, and Rakshasas. But Lord Karshini Pradyumna struck them all down. Text 24. Drawing his sharp-edged sword, Pradyumna forcefully cut off Sambara's head, complete with red mustache, helmet, and earrings. Text 25. As the residents of the higher planets showered Pradyumna with flowers and chanted his praises, his wife appeared in the sky and transported him through to the heavens, back to the city of Dwaraka. Text 26. O king, Lord Pradyumna and his wife resembled a cloud accompanied by lightning as they descended from the sky into the inner quarters of Krishna's most excellent palace, which were crowded with lovely women. Text 27 to 28. The women of the palace thought he was Lord Krishna. When they saw his when they saw his dark blue complexion, the color of the rain cloud, his yellow skin garments, his long arms and red tinged eyes, his charming lotus face, adorned with a pleasing smile, his fine ornaments and his thick curly blue hair. Thus the women became bashful and hid themselves here and there. Text 29. Gradually, from the slight differences between his appearance and Krishna's, the ladies realized he was not the Lord. Delighted and astonished, they approached Pradyumna and his consort, who was a jewel among women. Text 30. Seeing Pradyumna's sweet-voiced, dark-eyed Rukmini remembered her lost son, and her breasts became moist out of affection. Text 31. Srimati Rukmini Devi said, "Who is this lotus-eyed jewel among men? What man's son is he? And what woman carried him in her womb? And who is this woman he was taken as his wife?" Text 32. If my lost son, who was kidnapped from the maternity room, was still alive somewhere, he would be of the same age and appearance as this young man. Text 33. But how it is that this young man so much resembles my own Lord Krishna, the wielder of Sanga, in his bodily form and his limbs, and his gait and the tone of his voice, and in his smiling glance. Text 34. Yes, he must be the same child I bore in my womb, since I feel great affection for him and my left arm is quivering. Text 35. As Queen Rukmini conjectured in this way, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, arrived on the scene with Vasudeva and Devaki. Text 36. Although Lord Janardana knew perfectly well what had transpired, he remained silent. The sage Narada, however, explained everything beginning with Sambara's kidnapping of the child. Text 37. When the women of the Lord Krishna's palace heard this most amazing account, they joyfully greeted Pradyumna, who had been lost for many years, but who had now returned as if from the dead. Text 38. Devaki, Vasudeva, Krishna, Balarama, and all the women of the palace, especially Queen Rukmini, embraced the young couple and rejoiced. Text 39. Hearing that lost Pradyumna had come here, the residents of Dwaraka declared, Providence has allowed this child to return as if from death. Text 40. It is not astonishing that the palace women who should have felt maternal affection for Pradyumna privately felt ecstatic attraction for him, as if he were their own lord. After all, the son exactly resembles his father. Indeed, Pradyumna was a perfect reflection of the beauty of Lord Krishna, the shelter of the goddesses of fortune, and appeared before their eyes as Cupid himself. Since even those on the level of his mother felt conjugal attraction for him, then what to speak of how other women felt when they saw him? Thus ends the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhaktivedanta purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 55, The History of Pradyumna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. Thank you, Sundar and Prabhuji, for giving this opportunity. I'll start with my prayer. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-anjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharini निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधा शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे जय. So today we are reading from chapter Canto 10, chapter number 55. Very beautiful section of history of Pradyumna. In yesterday section, His Grace Sundaran Prabhuji explained the first part of the background, the history of Pradyumna, where we have heard how Pradyumna just under 10 days after birth was taken or abducted by demon Sambara, and he tried to kill him by throwing him in the ocean, but by the divine arrangement, Sambara was eaten by a big fish, and which was caught by the fishermen of the Sambara dynasty, and then that was again the fish went to the Sambara, was presented to the Sambara because it was very big fish, and it was when the cook, when they cut it open, we had that the baby Pradyumna came out of it, and everyone was astonished. So so it was the Pradyumna was given to maid servant Mayavati. Mayavati was none other than Rati, which was disguised and serving in the kitchen of Sambara. and we heard, right, how the Lord Shiva ordered her to go to Sambara, and her wish will be fulfilled there. So as soon as she got the baby, everyone was astonished by looking at the beautiful beauty of the baby, and then Narad Muni appeared there, and Narad Muni explained about the background. Like, this baby is none other than your husband from the previous life, Kamadev, and how he has appeared, and Narad Muni narrated all the pastime, that how the Sambara has kidnapped the child of Krishna, and Krishna, and then Rukmani, and then and tried to kill him. So and he is your husband Kamdev, which appeared in this life. So by knowing that, she started taking care of Pradyumna, and and then we see that he when he grown up faster, as in the yesterday session, Prabhu explained that as Krishna grows up faster until the age of 16, right, and he stayed at that age. So similarly, Pradyumna also gained the age very fast, got his youthful body very fast, and then we saw the fight happened between Samra, and today we are in verse number 21. Let's look at this. So yesterday we saw that, or heard that, the Pradyumna got the magic spell, or magic power, mystic power from Rati, or Mayavati. So and using that, he went to fight with Sambara, and in verse number 21, so we see that Maya Danav, right? So has taught Samra. So Samra was one of the student of Maya Danav, and Maya Danav we have heard in the many previous sections, like his mystical power, like he's expert in mystical power, and he has various students as well, like demonic students who has learned all those mystic power, and so Samra was using them to attack Krishna's son Pradyumna, and he released all kind of weapons. So there is a very nice picture also. We can see how he was throwing all kind of fire and all kind of weapons from the sky, right? We don't have that kind of technology right now, but just by using the mystic power, the illusory energy of the Bhagwan, Dana was taking, attacking the Krishna son. So I was hearing His Holiness Jayadev Swami class, and he mentioned very beautifully that how we see also in the pastime of Dhruv Maharaj fighting with Yakshas, right? So Yakshas also used Yakshas was also demonic in nature, and they created so many weapons by the power of illusion. So in today's world also we see so many big countries, right? Great countries try to create so many type of weapons, right? So they are not interested in improvement of the value system, but they are more interested in gaining the power, and all those power which is just meant to kill each other, right? Not for benefit of anything. So So they, like, yeah, going back to the Dhruv Maharaj pastime. So there also we saw like the Yakshas attacked Dhruv Maharaj kingdom, and there was a great battle, and they were uh, the all type of weapons were falling down. Not only weapon, but the fire and trees and cloud was enveloping the whole battlefield, and all they were product of illusion, and that was the expertise of yakshas. So in the similar fashion, we see Sambra also releasing a lot of weapons from the sky. So asked by this, so in the next text we see Pradyumna, Lord Rukmaniya. So we heard in the previous section, Pradyumna is as good as supreme, like he can be also called as supreme personality of Godhead, because we had three expansions, main expansions of Bhagwan. One is Bhagwan Swayam, Krishna Bhagwan Swayam, and then Sankashna, and then Pradyumna, who is very much look alike Bhagwan himself. We'll hear more about that in upcoming session. So he can be also called as Supreme Personality of Godhead, Pradyumna. That was explained in the earlier section also. So Lord Rukmaniya, because he was the son of Rukmani, so it is a practice to be called by father's name or mother's name. So that is what being Sukdev Goswami, resembling or basically calling Pradyumna as Lord Rukmaniya. So he was housed by the rain of weapon, and the greatly powerful warrior, uh, Sambra used all mystic signs called Mahamaya. Okay, so here comes the next part. So he was housed by the rain of weapon, and what he did, he used Mahamaya, which is created from the mode of goodness, and which can defeat all other mystic power. So in the class of His Holiness Jayadev, Jayadvaita Swami, I mentioned that as light drives away darkness, right? Goodness drives away passion and ignorance, and transcendental knowledge drives away darkness. So Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai Andhkar, Yaha Krishna Taha nahi Maya Adhikar. Where there is Krishna consciousness, there Maya illusion can't act. And as we found, right, in the Dhruv Maharaj story, that how Dhruv Maharaj fought back because he had the weapon which was sanctified by the holy name of the Lord. So when he leave the weapon, Maya disappeared, and he was able to defeat Yakshas, and also I heard that Maharaj was speaking about this material world is like illusion, where people are in so much misery, but still they feel enjoying. Right? This is called as our Anatmika Shakti, covering potency, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Under this potency, whole world is bewildered. And we also hear in Bhagavad Gita 7:14, Deve he esha guna mai mam maya duratya mam evaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So illusory energy, like Bhagwan Krishna explains, that illusory energy is very strong. It is very hard to come out of this three mode of nature. But as soon as we surrender, we jivas, as soon as we, like Bhagwan gave the solution also, as soon as we surrender, complete surrender to Bhagwan, the effect of illusory energy is gone. But if we tell to a new person, who is unaware of this philosophy or Krishna teachings, they will think these people are some kind of like people say that also hypnotized, right? And they are always chanting Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna. So while they remain Maharaji says that while the people in who are more inflicted with the material energy remain obsessed with the material world, and they are trying to find pleasure, more pleasure, every time looking for where is money, where is money, where is money, where is land, right? Where how I can enjoy, how I can find more pleasure. But at the end, they are always finding difficulty, right? Lamenting, finding more miserable condition. On the name of success, they kind of occupy themselves so much so that they don't have any time to find out why this birth is given. So why I came here, from where I came, what is I'm this body or who I am. No time to think about that. So while devotee, if you look at the devotee's life, they are always remain obsessed. So one or another way, s- we have to remain obsessed. Either we remain obsessed in the material energy or remain obsessed in the Krishna consciousness. So which one is good? So only one who has practiced know that uh, how much enjoyable the name of Bhagwan is, right? How blissful, how blissful Bhagwan name is. When we chant Hare Krishna mantra, we get automatically unlimited blissful, which never ends, which only increases. While in the material world, the enjoyment is like limited after a certain time. Like if somebody like Rasgulla, if you keep feeding him Rasgulla, he will be like, no, don't give me much. What you want to do? You want to kill me? But that never happens with the devotee, like or whoever is chanting. Start chanting even one single round of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So he will find ultimate bliss, right? So we need to understand this and share this knowledge with everyone whoever we meet. That is the real Krishna consciousness. Sharing prasadam, sharing Bhagwan name, and sharing our the whatever benefit we are getting from the Krishna consciousness, small, like a little bit. Um, yeah. So it's like ye nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sanyam yashyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyanti mune. So it is in verse number chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, 69 verse. What all being considered as day in the night of ignorance for the wise, and what all creatures see as night is the day of the introspective sage. So, uh, so in the material, like to whoever is in the like living in the material world, they think what this the sages are doing is not useful, and literally also, right? We see, uh, yeah, the Krishna conscious person will wake up early in the morning to chant and read and hear about Bhagwan. So while a materially inflicted person will be sleeping that time, right? So that we can understand that, right? So and let's move on to next verse. So demon, yeah. So Samdra unleashed hundreds of mystic weapons, which were belonging to different, claims like Guhyas, Gandharvas, Pichasas, Urgas, and Rakshasas. But Lord Karshni or Pradyumna struck, struck all of them down because he was having uh, the ultimate weapon to to bring all kind of weapons down. So, like where Krishna consciousness is, there is no effect of illusion or energy of illusion, right? So and then he drawed his so Pradyumna drawed his sharp sword, and what he did, he attacked Pradyumna and cut off the Sambra head completely, and his helmet, earring, everything fell down. So that's how Sambra got killed. And looking at that, all the people resident of higher planetary system, planetary higher planets, showered flowers and chanted his prayers. Bhagwan ki jai. So his wife appeared in the sky. Rati Devi appeared and transported, immediately took him through the heavens back to the city of Dwarka, back to his mother and father, Bhagwan Krishna and Rukmani Devi. So, so they they descended from the cloud, accompanied by lightning, like as we see, like where there is thunderstorm, lightning appear on the ground. So similar fashion, they appeared from the clouds into the inner quarters. Ant, Antapura, Vrajam Rajan. So they appeared in the Anantapura. So so they descended into Antapura, which is inner part of the palace. And Prabhupada in one of his class was speaking about uh, how in the Bengal or in any part of the India, the house was made in such a way that it has two different parts. In the sense that there was an outer part where the business associates or male friends basically, or the people who are not so familiar come and sit and um, take prasadam and talk, do business dealings, have conversations, while there will be an inner part of the house where only women live, and it used to be joint family, right? So women has their own things going inside the house, and men's were in the outside portion of the house where they will be conversing with each other, and then greeting the other people there. So the inner part was always is kind of not accessible to the outer world. So because and then Maharaj explained that one time there was one feminist from America went to India, and he had this mindset that women are not treated very well in India. And then he saw this arrangement. He got he thought that's so nice culture, right? Women has so like their own things going in the inner part of the house. They have taking care of the kids, uh, preparing for a lot of festivals and a lot of day and night, a lot of activities, and then they are happy. It was it's like not in the America there. In the olden days also it was neutral family, right? So like we have now even in India and here also, only husband and wife talking to each other. They have ask of equality and all those things, uh, but in back old days it was not the case. They have their own business altogether, right? Man is taking care of the outer part of the house, and woman is helping building the family altogether, and culture, giving culture to the children. So here also we see the Pradyumna and his wife Rati Devi, where they descended. They arrived in the inner quarter of Krishna's excellent palace, Krishna's most excellent palace. Why it is most excellent? Because Krishna lived there with Rukmani. So Krishna, Bhagwan has 16,008 wives that time, and each wife and Krishna lived with each wife in 16,008 palaces. But since Rukmani Devi is the chief of all the queens, so they had a very excellent palace, like a special palace. compared to all other palace, and all other palace were equally well versed or well equipped palaces. It was not like small palaces. It were all well versed. So so this palace was crowded with the other women's, beautiful women's. They were accompanying Rukmani Devi, and they will be, doing so many other things in the palace. So that's how they entered in the inner quarters where all the women were there. So what we see, as soon as the women saw Pradyumna, because Pradyumna resemble as exactly as Lord Krishna, right? So the woman thought, looking at the dark blue complexion of Rain Cloud and his yellow silk garment, his long arms, red tinged eyes, his charming lotus face adorned with pleasure smile and fine ornaments, and his thick curly blue hair, the woman became bashful. So we can meditate upon this form, right? So much so that has been mentioned in the Shastras, right? We can how the Bhagwan Krishna look like, right? Dark blue complexion, yellow silk garment, long arms, red tinged eyes, and charming lotus face, and with pleasing smile, his fine ornaments, and his thick curly blue hair. So what happened? The woman became bashful. So somebody can ask, right? So you can ask, like, why they became bashful, right? They were not seeing the Krishna for the first time, even though he was not Krishna, but resembling exactly like Krishna because of he was son of Krishna, expansion of Bhagwan Krishna. So women thought he's Krishna himself, and why they were bashful, like why they become extra happy by looking at the Krishna, but they were living in the Krishna palace himself. They must have saw Krishna many times, but why, when Krishna arrived in their quarters or area, why they become bashful? So Radhanath, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj brings very nice point here, that Krishna is ever new and fresh and more beautiful, and he never feel like we know him. Like as we go to the temple, like also we see Radharani and Krishna, we feel the pleasure in the innermost part of the heart, right? So it's never like, oh no, I have seen Radha Krishna so many times, I don't want. They always look new, so their beauty doesn't end like our material beauty ends, and then uh, we, we will not feel attractive so much to other person, but that's not the case with the Bhagwan. So Bhagwan is ever attractive, and he look new every day, every time when we see him. So that's why the women become bashful. And then so the women saw the slight difference in the appearance, and they realized he is not their lord, and but they were astonished, like how somebody can look alike Krishna. They approached Pradyumna and his consort, Pradyumna's wife, Rati Devi, who was jewel among women. And so seeing Pradyumna, sweet-voiced, dark-eyed Rukmani, so Rukmani Devi also arrived there and remembered her lost son, and her breast became moist out of affection. So we see, right, mother always has so much caring feeling for their children, right? Same thing, like that feeling is coming from Bhagwan. So we see here also the mother Rukmani, by just looking at the Pradyumna, she got that sense that he is my son. So she started questioning, who is this lotus-eyed jewel among men, and what man's son he is, and what woman carried him in her womb. So it's like the senses already knew that Rukmani Devi already knew. We know all we know uh, she is the associate of Rukmani Devi is the associate of Krishna Bhagwan, and like Krishna Bhagwan know everything what is happening in the world. So Rukmani Devi also know, but here she is asking herself to clarify, to confirm, because the son was taken away when he was only 6 days old. Right. So she is asking this question to herself, and who is this woman he has taken as his wife? So she is also saying that if my lost son, who was kidnapped from maternity room, were still alive somewhere, he would be the same age and appearance as this young man. So realizing that, but how is it that this young man so much resembles? So she's, because we know, right, the children look alike like their father or mother. So she is also thinking in that angle, right? So how that he resemble like my own Lord Krishna, and all his bodily form, his limbs, and his tone of his voice and his smile, glance, everything look alike Bhagwan Krishna, and only that can happen when there is a close relation, right? So he must be the same child I bore in my womb. So she confirmed herself, like, yes, he must be the same child I bore in my womb, since I feel great affection for him, and my left arm is quivering. So all this senses, signs are also coming out. So as Queen Rukmani were thinking in this way, so Lord Krishna, son of Devaki, also arrived there with Vasudev and Devaki, and although Lord Janardhan, he is Janardhan, he know everything perfectly well, he know everything what is happening, but he remained silent. He wanted to let mother enjoy the finally she met her son, so let her enjoy that moment of and he doesn't want to kill that suspense. So the sage Narad, we know, right, Narad Muni always come in the perfect time to disclose the matter, so to end the suspense. So came and explained everything, beginning with Samra's kidnapping of the child, and what all happened. Then, so as soon as this fact was known to everyone, the women of Lord Krishna Palace got got amazed, and they all greeted Pradyumna. They became very happy that their lost son, after so many years, was found, which everyone was thinking is dead by now, but he returned back. So it was a joyful environment in the palace. Everyone was happy, and then Devaki, Vasudev, Krishna, and all the women, especially Queen Rukmani, embraced the young couple and rejoiced. And hearing this, Pradyumna has came back. The Dwarka resident, all of the Dwarka residents also celebrated. So in the last verse, so Sukdev Goswami explained that it is not astonishing that the palace women, who should have felt maternal affection, because they were in the age also of maternal affection as Pradyumna, they felt ecstatic attraction for him, as if he were their own lord. Because we should not misunderstand this. So in the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also explained that the palace women saw Pradyumna, and they immediately remembered their lord. So because of the outward look, right, they felt he is our lord. Shri Krishna and the Prabhupada explained in the Krishna book that Srila Sukdev Goswami has explained that in the beginning, all the residents of the palace, who were all mother and stepmother of the Pradyumna, mistook him to be Krishna and were all bashful, infected by the desire of conjugal love. The explanation is that Pradyumna's personal appearance was exactly like Krishna, and he was factually Cupid himself. So he was extra charming also. There was no cause of astonishment. Therefore, when the mother of Pradyumna and other women mistook him in that way, it is clear from the statement that Pradyumna's bodily characteristics were so similar to Krishna that he was mistaken to be Krishna even by his mother. But it doesn't mean they felt affection. Everyone, all the women and Mata Rukmani felt affection looking at the Pradyumna external feature, but they did not thought beyond that. Right? They just thought Bhagwan himself came. So they actually felt affectionate to Bhagwan, right? Not to Pradyumna, because he was looking similar to Bhagwan. So we should not mistook this, we should not misunderstand this, like how mother age women were feeling affection to Pradyumna. That was affection to Krishna himself. But their relation is different. So their relation is like mother and son. But since Pradyumna look like a bodily feature, characteristic, everything, voice and everything is like Krishna, they felt affection to Krishna, right? So, and that affection is spiritual, right? Now we should not look at this from the material eyes and material concept. So that's a precautionary, and disclaimer given by Sukdev Goswami to not misunderstand any of the Leela of Bhagwan. So thank you so much, everyone. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण।
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।